Hello everyone, welcome to Astra, the daily current affairs. Today it is 1st of December 2023. Let's have a quick review about what are the things that we have in the current affairs as far as Astra is considered. Right, please allow me to share the screen. So in the front page, there is some news about the recently concluded elections in the 5 states of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Mizoram, Telangana, and Rajasthan. So exit poll survey has been predicted. So they keep Congress ahead in Chhattisgarh and Telangana, while in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Mizoram, the exit polls are different. What is an exit poll, guys? Exit poll is nothing but after polling your voting or after casting your vote, if you are coming out of the polling booth, there will be some people who will be present there. They will be asking the review of the voters to whom they have casted. Based on that, exit poll predictions will be given. Exit polls are not exact, they never have something called exact accuracy. So they are just an indication about the movement, but they cannot go ahead with this. So it is better to look at the final results that are going to be announced on day after tomorrow, that is on this Sunday. The results for all these 5 states are going to be announced. This is the thing. High octane polling for Telangana is concluded, but one thing which is very peculiar is the voting percentage is just 64%, somewhat lower than the Maoist hit belts such as Chhattisgarh, right? So in Chhattisgarh, you have polling compared to Hyderabad or Telangana, something to be thought over. Now, major VVIPs are casting their vote. One thing that you can observe is if you look at the voting pattern in the country, it is dominated by women sections. So this is the thing. So majority of the women in India are using their votes, and these two tribal women. So when tribal people are exercising their caste, what about the so-called people who are present in the cities or where the voting percent has been very less, somewhere around 40%, right? So this is one thing. And when there are elections, that day will be declared as a holiday for voting. During this point of time, the city has some deserted look, and gig workers are going to face huge problem. This is the problem. So gig workers already, they are casual workers or platform workers. When everything is closed, that is going to hit the social security of the casual labor. So this is one problem with the regular elections, such as elections for Lok Sabha, elections for state legislative assemblies, and elections for panchayats and municipalities. So this is the reason why Government of India is trying to come out with one thing called one nation, one vote, that is called simultaneous elections, right? So when there is simultaneous elections, no need to close it for 3 times. Just close one day. The rest of the days, in a 5 years, they will be having the work. So this is the thing. Next. So in the editorials, making this Israel-Palestinian war last, this is about the so-called the recent truce that was happened between the Israel and Hamas, where 1.3 to 2.3 residents of Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip have been displaced. So there has been some truce which has happened, and now this is speaking about the so-called lasting solution. The only lasting solution is to vacate the occupations of West Bank by Israel and let the Palestina emerge. So two-state solution is the only solution. That is what the solution that is being advocated here. Already we have read about much in depth, so no need to go in detail. Broadcast Regulations 3.0 Commission omissions. This is regarding to the so-called broadcasting services rules that the government of India want to introduce by in this next assembly, in this next parliamentary session. So this is regulating the broadcasting services. Now it is going to have some concerns. This is what it is speaking. So must not lose the opportunity to protect the press freedom and diversity, but this is keeping some limitations. This is what it is made. Next one is a lot at stake. This is regarding to the so-called the recent indictment by the US Department of Justice as far as India's involvement in the planning to kill the so-called Pannu was there. So US is saying that Indian people are involved in this. Now government of India has to tread very closely because it is going to create a challenge for India's ties with Five Eyes. In this context, just remember, no need to read the entire article. What is this Five Eyes? Five Eyes is an intelligence association of 5 countries. They are USA, Canada, UK, New Zealand, Australia. So this is five eyes. So what do you mean by five eyes? The intelligence of all these five countries are working in collaboration in order to get some important information that will be coordinated among them. India is having some relationship with this, so India wants to be a part of it. That is going to hit because of these type of revealings. Changing tide. This is regarding to the so-called Tatmada, that is the junta, military junta, and since February 2012, coup has boosted the National League of Democratic Government. This is under turmoil. Myanmar has been under turmoil. So there seems to be a regeneration in the hopes to the return of democracy in Myanmar, which is in a civil war. So this is speaking about Myanmar, where these people are trying to get back to democracy. Not again important, leave it. Is the emerging global order bipolar? PSAR students, this is important for you guys, but rest of the students don't need. So here they have used some terminology like security war architecture, economically multipolar but militarily unipolar today. So these type of things can be used in answer writing just for PSAR students. Have a look at it, otherwise this is not important. 2.23 lakh crore to buy 97 Tejas and 156 Prachanda helicopters. So Government of India Defence Acquisition Council headed by Defence Minister. This is important for prelims. Defence Acquisition Council is headed by whom? Ministry of Defence. In this context, they have allotted somewhere around 2.23 lakh crores to buy defence equipment and to make India future ready. Navy gets biggest naval exercise. What is the name of the biggest naval exercise? Exercise Milan, which is going to be held in February 2024. Exercise Milan is a biennial multilateral naval exercise which began in 1995. So for every 2 years, this exercise happens. This has begun in 1995. How many countries are participating? More than 50 countries are participating in it. And then it consists of India and the littoral states of Indian Ocean region. So Indian Ocean region countries are also participating in it. These are the things that you have to remember from this. Next one is 3 anti-submarine warfare was being launched. So what are the names of these 3 anti-submarines? Mahi, Malwan, Mangrol. So just remember Mahe, Malwan, Mangrol. Or they can ask this, what are these 3 things? These are anti-submarine warfares. Next one, extremely important for prelims guys. Loss and damage fund was cleared on day 1 in COP28 summit. COP28 summit has begun in UAE. COP27 has COP27 was held in Egypt. COP26 was held at Glasgow in Scotland. What is the outcome of Glasgow, Scotland? Prime Minister Modi has promised Panchamruth in COP26. Egypt, they started discussing about loss and damage fund. Now this has been fruitified in COP28, which is going to be held in UAE, or which started yesterday. Now what is this loss and damage fund? Loss and damage fund is the fund which is available to deal with the climate change for the developing countries. Now once this fund is formed, who will be the regulator of this fund? World Bank will be custodian of it. However, World Bank Secretariat won't look into it. There will be an independent secretariat. This is important. Independent secretariat will look after this fund. So this is managed by an independent secretariat. Next. So initially the commitment was $250 million. So people are expecting that it will increase over a period of time. Now the fund was first announced in COP27 in Egypt, that is called Sharm el-Sheikh. So now meeting since then through transitional committees. Many committees has taken place between COP27 and COP28. These are known as transitional committees. They can ask transitional committees is in news, which is regarding what? Next. So this was the thing which we have seen. Now the payments to be made into these funds are voluntary in nature. So those whoever is interested, they can pay voluntary in nature. So this is not mandatory. So this is another thing that you have to understand. And called the least developing countries and small developing countries can take money from it. So these are the things that you have to remember here. So Prime Minister Modi has been saying that there are only 4 castes that we have to worry. That is the poor, the youth, the women and the farmers. So if these people are developed according to Modi, then India can progress. So what Prime Minister Modi is advocating, we have to focus on the growth of poor, youth, women and farmers. Henry Kissinger has been passed away. Who is this Henry Kissinger? The former national security advisor of USA and one of the best diplomats of realism in international relations. So in this context, they have given some data just for PSIR students. Have a look at it. That is more than enough. Not go in depth. Next, India is set to launch X-ray polarimeter satellite, says ISRO. So ISRO is planning to launch X-ray polarimeter satellite. Now, what is the objective of it? The objective of it is to measure X-ray polarization in the energy band of 8 through 30 keV emanating from X-ray sources from long-term spectral and temporal studies. Not that important. Just remember it has two payloads, primary payload and secondary payload. They can ask for local exams. Now, this is going to be launched through the so-called PSLV, and it is going to be kept in the lower Earth orbit, not sun synchronous orbit, non-sun synchronous orbit. They are going to keep it. Next, dismay over addition of colors image to Dhanvantari. What is this? Recently, Government of India has renamed the so-called Ayushman Bharat and Health and Wellness Centers as Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. Now, so Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers were renamed as Health and Wellness Arogya Mandirs. Now, the tagline was Arogyam Parama Dharmaha. Paramam Dharmam. Health is the greatest wealth. So in this context, but changing of the names is being questioned because they are saying that Dhanvantari name should not be added. Dhanvantari, who is Dhanvantari? They can ask him prelims. An avatar of Vishnu is the physician of Devas and the god of Ayurveda. So god of Ayurveda is Dhanvantari. In this context, they have given this. Right? NMC. What is NMC? NMC is the body which has 33 members. It is a statutory body that governs the field of medical education in the country. So just remember these things, that is more than enough. No successful infiltration has happened in Bangladesh, says the border security force. So in this context, that can be used in internal security. So this is what I said. Henry Kissinger has passed away. For PSIR students, have a look at it. That is more than enough. 2023 will be the hottest year. This I have discussed yesterday itself. Core sector growth. Every month there will be core sector growth details. So the first of every month we'll have this thing. So what is core sector? What are core sector industries? That is important. Always remember this. So there are index of industrial production will give data about industries productions in the country. Who will give index of industrial production? NSO will give index of industrial production. At what frequency? Monthly. However, the data will be with 1 month lag. What do I mean by 1 month lag? Today it is 1st of December. The data will be for so-called the month of October. Right? This is a thing that you have to understand. Right? So this is 1 month lag. In the index of industrial production, out of the total industries, there are certain industries which are very crucial for the economy, and they are known as core industries. So there are 8 core industries in India which have 40% of weightage in IIP. They can ask what are these core industries. Remember, refineries, electricity, steel, crude oil, coal, cement, fertilizers, and natural gas. So these are the 8 core industries which are present in index of industrial production. This is prelims question. So this you have to remember. Fiscal deficit touches 45%. Every month this will be the news. So what is fiscal deficit, guys? Budget deficit minus non-debt creating capital assets. So fiscal deficit indicates debt creating capital assets. This is what you have to understand. So look at the basics, that is more than enough. The next one that you find is what are the advantages of simultaneous elections, what are the disadvantages of simultaneous elections. Just now I have been discussing about simultaneous elections, how it is going to be helpful for the country. They have given very clearly. So what they are saying is until the third Lok Sabha, you had until first 4 general elections, you have simultaneous elections. But today after that, from the 5th Lok Sabha, simultaneous elections was not possible. Now today, along with Lok Sabha, only 4 states are having state legislative voting. Only 3 states: Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha. There are 4 states. 4 states are going along with Lok Sabha elections. The rest of the things you have different voting. Now, what is simultaneous votes? Simultaneous polling means the polling for Lok Sabha, state legislative assemblies, and local bodies will be held at same time. Now what happens if it is held at same time for every 5 years if it is held? Obviously, just now I said social security cover for the so-called gig workers that we have seen in the front page, that is going to become, the social security cover is going to be increased. So the cause for common elections, whether that can be held, what are the advantages? The advantages I have highlighted in the reading, greening. What are the disadvantages or what are the challenges, along with what is the way forward they have given it. Please have a look at it. I have already shared this in my YouTube Telegram channel. You can have a look at it. That is more than enough. So these are the things that we have in today's current affairs, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.